So in the video today, I had a dead pheasant and I threw it out. Uh, I made a scent trail on a good expanse of the bank on one side of the pond, and then sent Achilles on a search from the opposite bank. And he found it, no problem. Found it really quickly. There wasn't a lot of vegetation to search in. And the wind was blowing towards us, so that helped too. But then I decided to challenge him a little bit. So I left the pheasant on the side where he brought it to me. I threw it in the vegetation in the water, and then I walked him to the other side where where he searched initially. So there was scent all over the bank, up and down, because I had drugged the pheasant. I had dipped it in the water and then kind of brushed a lot of the shrubs with it, that were along the edge of the water, just to put a bunch of scent out there so that he couldn't just hone in on it immediately. This way, he would be forced to do a little bit of searching. So anyway, and it tripped him up because he just kept searching the area because there was scent there. So he had trouble going across to find it, even though I was sending him across. So the moral of the story is, you need to challenge your dogs once they learn a lesson. And so that's what I was doing here. In hindsight, I probably should have made it a little bit easier for him. Maybe done it on a narrower stretch of water. But it's not how it worked out today. And I hadn't actually planned to do this, honestly, but it was just kind of a spur of the moment. I thought, hey, I'm going to see if I can get him to go through the scent and go across and get it. So it was just kind of like I said, nothing I had planned, but ended up, he struggled, he was unsuccessful. So the benefit of, once they learn something, and he's been doing great on his searches, land and water both. He has been going out, he's been, expanding, he's been doing great. But the scent of the bird all over the water on this one side really tripped him up. But they have to get used to those types of scenarios. So, it's important that when our dogs learn a lesson, we continue to stimulate their minds. If it's too easy for them and we do it over and over and over and over, they get bored. It's not a challenge, it's not fun, it's just a robotic, monotonous chore after a while. So Achilles really did search, he really did struggle. So it revealed to me that I need to help him a little bit more to expand his search beyond the area that he might smell a bird. Because hey, in a real hunting situation, a duck might be wounded and swim all over a certain area, but then when you send the dog out to get it, it dives and pops up on the opposite side somewhere. Well, the dog's not going to follow a scent trail in that case. So it is important that, we make it a little more challenging for them. The same thing with your drags. Put some extra turns and zigzags once they understand it. You don't want to make it too complicated too early, but once they do well and that they are understanding the task, once they have a good grasp of it, start making it more challenging, and then, take them to new areas, and make sure that they actually understand it. because a lot of times they will understand based on a scenario, based on a location, based on certain, you know, external variables that maybe we aren't even aware of. You know, they just get, you know, something mapped in their mind, and they may not really understand the concept of what you want them to do. So it is important to send them on more challenging searches or tracks or whatever the case may be, and then it'll reveal if you have any weak spots, any you know, gaps in your training that, you know, maybe, hey, you know what, maybe he really doesn't have this down and I need to go back and revisit this with him. You know, and so it's usually not a fault of the dog, it's our fault. And so what I figured out with Achilles today is that he needs to you know, he doesn't just 100% trust me that when I send him, there's going to be something on the opposite bank. He was so caught up in the scent, which is good. I mean, if he smells it, you want him to search it. But after a while, if he doesn't produce anything, he needs to get out and search farther. You know, and that just didn't happen today. So I'll end up doing, you know, a couple of different things with them, and I cover that in the video here. So anyway, just to give you a little idea of what's going on and what the lesson was today, and it reveals that, you know, we need to go back and iron out a few things. So just keep that in mind with your training. Sometimes you'll need to go back, iron out some details, nothing wrong with that. But you find those weak spots when you take them to a new location, or, you know, maybe start working them from the opposite side of the pond, or, you know, just, you know, put some extra turns in your tracks, or maybe put, you know, like I did here, you know, some scent that they need to search, and then get beyond and see if they will really search, or if they're always focused on a visual, or always focused on you throwing a rock, or always focused on they smell it because the wind's blowing it, you know, to you. So challenge them. Once they understand it, challenge them. Make sure they understand it. And then you can go back and iron out any details that need to be ironed out. So it's a little long. I do get long-winded, and my videos get long, so I'm really sorry. But I think this is valuable to, you know, improving a dog. So enjoy. So this one is more challenging. We are now upwind. I left the pheasant on that side, and I'm sending him back through where I had spread the scent out everywhere. So there's scent all over this. I had him mark the other bank, but he instantly went, you know, where, you know, like he's checking out where all the scent was on this side. But I want him to search. I don't want him to go across. You know, I'm just making his training a little tougher so that he can figure out, and, you know, and just to reiterate that when I send him, there's always something to be found. But what this doing here also simulates is, you know, let's say you're the last dog to go and all the other ducks have just swam up and down your side of the bank. Well, you want your dog to get out there and search, because the last duck they put out may have swum across. See, searching back here is not a water search, so that doesn't count. And if he doesn't get back in the water here pretty quick, it's going to hurt him. And if I call him, it's going to hurt him. But this is why we train. And I need to talk to one of the judges to confirm if calling him and resending him loses a predicate or if it's an automatic fail, because I honestly don't remember right off. But This is training, so I'm gonna call him. Achilles! Achilles, come here, come here. Come here. Achilles, come here. I'm gonna set this down. Achilles, come here. No, come here, come here. Good boy. Sit. Achilles, sit down. Sit. Good boy, look. No, here, look. Here. Mark. Mark. Find it. So I had him mark the other bank again. See, there's so much scent right over here. So, and I have removed the buckets. You know, I've gotten past using the buckets. So I'm gonna still try to get him to go across if he doesn't do it on his own here in a little bit. Because he's searching right now. So, you know, he's still on the search. You know, he's doing fine. But I want him to be successful, and I want him to go across, because that's where I sent him. But there's so much scent here, and this can trip a dog up. This is actually what happened to Blair at her first, at her HCP. We found a bumper. Good boy. Come here. Come here, Achilles. Fetch it up. Good boy. Sit. Good. Drop. Good boy. Okay, Achilles, here. I'm gonna set the phone down again. Achilles, sit down. Sit. Sit, buddy. Attaboy. Good dog. Achilles, look. Mark. Mark. Find it. Maybe fire a cat gun and see if that helps. Achilles. Go find it. Find it. I'm intentionally tripping him up with all this scent. Achilles, go find it. And it doesn't help that the wind is blowing that direction. You know, when we were on that other side, the wind was blowing kind of that direction. So it picked up a lot of the scent, which I drug that pheasant, you know, all around here. And if we can't get him to go across here in a little bit, I will, you know, just work him through it. You know, we'll just practice on, you know, smaller areas, you know, narrower area going across, you know, put a little scent down and then send him, you know, across, maybe with a bucket, and have scent on my side. And then that way, you know, he, you know, kind of remembers, oh, hey, the bucket, the other side, that's where I have to go. And then he'll learn that when I send him, you know, that's where he needs to go. So he is searching. He's searching diligently, but he needs to expand his search because he's not producing anything here. I mean, he's searched this over several times already and he's not finding anything. But I'm going to give him a chance to work it out. If a dog works it out on his own, that's the best way they'll learn. But if he doesn't accomplish it, I'm going to try sending him again and then, you know, try to work him through it on another day if he's unsuccessful today. All right, Achilles, here. I'm gonna move over a little bit and just get a new spot. Come here, buddy. Hey, Achilles, here, come here. Here, look, come here, buddy. Achilles, come here, Here, come here. Good boy. I'm gonna set the phone down again. Yes, sir. Sit. Good boy. Good boy, look. Here. Mark. Mark. Go find it. No, find it. Find it. He's still just searching around here. He's excited, but I honestly think he's confused because I'm sending him over there, but he smells it here. Thing is, he's not finding it here. Okay, well, maybe. We'll see what he does. All right, yeah, so he's very confused. I'm gonna see if I can get him to mark that piece of styrofoam there in a second. If he doesn't go across. I keep hoping that he will go across, but he keeps turning it right about that distance. Because the scent is just all in this vegetation. A side note, he was earlier, good boy, that's a good boy. Here, Achilles, here. Good boy, sit down, good dog. Good dog, that's a bad grip, but drop, atta boy. All right, I'm gonna have him mark the styrofoam. Achilles, come here, buddy. Set the phone down. Good boy, here, drop, good boy, here, sit. Sit, Achilles, sit. Achilles, look, look, look. Achilles, look. Here, no, mark. Mark, Achilles, mark. Go fetch. Honestly, don't think he saw that styrofoam. But I did point him in that direction. That's the direction he went. I'm just going to let him keep searching. He is searching, you know. I got to give him props for that. And he's enthusiastic. But I want him to be successful. And I want him always to only find the game on the other side. Because that teaches him to go out farther to begin with. But anyway, what I was saying, a couple of things is, if he doesn't find it here, if he has, you know, if this scent that I've put all over the place is tripping him up too much, what I'll do is go back to a bucket on that narrower channel down there. Maybe put a little scent on my side, but put the bucket on the other side. Put a duck by it, or some bumpers or whatever, and just have him you know, kind of remind him that, oh, it's across is where I need to go. He's entering the water again, and that's about where I started making the scent trail with that pheasant. So yeah, it's really tripping him up. The other thing though, you notice he's walking the bank here. There's really not much vegetation in the water because it's gone down so much. I mean, it was, you know, way back here, like by that log. And anyway, so, you know, it's gone down a lot. But come test time, if it's not filled up, what we're gonna end up doing is, there's a bunch of cattails in the creek. Oh, let's see what he does. Come on, Achilles, go across. He's watching doves fly in the sky. But these bushes here are easy to dig up, and they're all over the place. I mean, they're all up and down all sides of this tank. And basically, I can just, you know, pull a whole bunch of these up and throw them out there and create, and they'll end up growing where I put them. But I've also got a bunch of cattails in the creek that, you know, we can pull up a bunch of those. And I've planted corn and milo and wheat at different, you know, stages here. And I'll keep planting it, you know, as the water level drops. So that, you know, at whatever level it is, we'll have cover. But anyway, we have several options for cover. We've also got lotus and water lilies planted, so hopefully a lot of those bulbs will come up over the remainder of the summer and create some more cover. All right, yeah, I'm gonna still keep trying to send him. But anyway, so this is a new thing for him. Like I said, it was done intentionally this way. And you have to challenge your dog at times. He grabbed a lily pad. You have to challenge your dog at times, or you're not going to discover the things that need to be worked on. And this is why I'm doing this. All right, let's see. He's sniffing the water. He's tasting the water. Maybe he'll do it. And he may be following some of the scent that has, you know, drifted just from being over here. And I took that pheasant, I got it wet, and then I, you know, all these, you know, bushes, I kind of wiped it across the top. I hit the water a few times with it as well. Hit the algae with it a few times. He's going right to where it's at. The wind is not blowing this way, so he's not catching wind of that. But he is going across. Oh man, he's turning back. Hopefully he keeps searching though. If he figures this out on his own and he finds it over there, it's going to be the best lesson for him to figure this out. The best opportunity, you know, because he's worked it out in his mind. He's going the wrong way. He's going where he delivered it the first time, right there. There's smell there. Hopefully he doubles back left. He's coming back over here. Almost need a shotgun. But he did end up going across, so I'm really glad about that. But he was just a few feet off, and the wind was not blowing in the right direction for him to pick it up. And it's kind of in that right there where it kind of channels into a corner too. So a lot of things working against him here. Maybe I can throw a rock out there. I don't know. Achilles, here, bud. Here. I don't know if he'll go all the way or not. About as far as I can throw it. I hope he does. Hope he goes all the way across. And you can throw a rock in your test, or you can shoot the water with a shotgun. He grabbed a stick. If he retrieves that stick, I'm going to praise him up, make it a big deal. All right, the wind is slightly blowing to my left, and so he is getting to be downwind. All right, he's turning. Good. I think he may find it. And the wind's barely blowing right now, so, you know, there's a chance he may find it. But yeah, so in the test, we're going to have vegetation in the water so that he can, oh no, he's missing it. It's just in a dead airspace right in there. Heck, it may have sank too. If I had a shotgun, I would shoot the water on the other side to kind of help him. But I don't want him to get where he relies on visuals but today I just want him to be successful. Hey, Keely's here. Ready? I got another trick up my sleeve before I end today's lesson. If he doesn't go and get it this time, I'm gonna chain him to a tree behind me, and then I'm gonna go walk around, pick the pheasant up, show it to him from across the tank, and drop it. And then I'm gonna have him mark that area, and I'm gonna resend him. There he is. Come on, Achilles, turn to the right, buddy. Now the wind's blowing the other direction. It's blowing from my left to my right. It looks like he's sniffing the water. Yep, he's sniffing the surface. I think he knows it's over there. Ah, he's going the wrong way. I'm still going to give him a treat and praise him. He has searched really well. I mean, he has covered a lot of ground. Now, most of his time was spent on the bank on this side, but you know, that's on me, and like I said, I did that on purpose. Hey, come here, buddy. Come here, Achilles. What a good boy. What a good boy. Come here. In fact, I'm just going to throw this bumper. Give him a little bit of motivation and excitement. Good boy. Oh, it sank. They chewed the ends off of it. I didn't expect it to sink that fast. Oh, I'm sorry, bud. How about a stick? You want a stick? Well, maybe it'll go across again. I don't know. Fetch! Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Yeah, he's not a dumb. There's sticks all over this thing, and he's grabbed them before thinking they were bumpers and let go of them. So I can't fault him for dropping it, but I guarantee he thinks I threw a bumper. Hey, come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. You're a good boy, Achilles. You're doing a good job. Come here, bud. Come here. Achilles, come here. Here, buddy. Here. Good boy. Good boy. Come here, Achilles. That's a good boy. Come here. Come here. Good dog. Good boy. Here, sit down. No, no. Hey, Achilles. Here, sit. Sit, bud. I know, you got a log under your butt. Here, sit. Good boy. It's a treat. Okay. All right. Hey, no, wait. So I'm going to tie him to this tree here. Then I'm going to walk around, pick up the pheasant, show it to him, and then come back around and send him. I want to push him through this scent, and I want him to be successful. So, Achilles, nope, come here. Nope, come here. Achilles. I didn't show him the pheasant. Achilles, no, come here. Go find it. No. Achilles, come here. I couldn't get the pheasant. It's mostly submerged and farther out than I could reach even with a stick. Good boy, come here. But I showed him a log, and I don't think he knew the difference. Achilles, come here, bud. And I tossed it in the edge over there. Good boy. Sit, Achilles, sit. Set the phone down. Achilles, come here. Mark. Mark. Mark, Achilles. Mark. Mark. Find it. Anyway, he started barking and yelping when he saw it. He's heading straight for it this time. He still got caught up in the scent a second ago. You know, when I sent him the first time after tying him up and then walking around, picking it up, throwing it in the water, showing it to him. But the wind, when I sent him just a second ago, was actually blowing from right over here, which is where he went. Now it's blowing the other direction. I mean, very, very slight. I mean, very slight, but he is now to the right of it. Darn it, the wind has shifted again. I'm just gonna let him work over there. Just gonna let him see what he does. I may indeed have to go back to a white bucket and a narrow area. Achilles, come here. Achilles, come here. Come here, Achilles. Come here, buddy. Here, good boy. Here, it's a good boy. Here. Set phone down again. Achilles, look. Here. You want to go fetch? You want to fetch? Okay, wait, look. Over there. Mark, go fetch. Oh, he saw a fish or something hit the water right there. Yeah, I may just have to get a bucket out. Dang it. I was really hoping he'd do this. But you know, this is why we train. This is why we come up with, you know, a gentleman I really respect who has taught me a considerable amount about dog training said, when a dog can do the task 3 times in each of 3 different areas in a row, then the dog is ready. Achilles, come here. So once I get Achilles, you know, sorted with all these different things here, and I'm doing it from both sides and on that end and on this end, so I, you know, basically he's got in a way 4 locations that, you know, I'm sending him from. So in a way it's like 4 different bodies of water. But, you know, I want to take him to some other ponds as well so that he, you know, figures out, you know, the concept. I want to make sure it's not situational. I want to make sure he actually knows the task itself and not based on a location. So I'm gonna send him again and just see if we can do it. And if not, then I'll just call it an evening, and tomorrow we'll put the bucket out on that channel down there. I'll put scent down in front of us, but he'll have that bucket. And so I think, you know, that'll encourage him. So I'm gonna set the phone down again. Achilles, here, come here, bud. Here, sit. You ready to go fetch? Look. No. Get us. Mark. Get us. Mark. Go find it. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be successful tonight. Achilles, no. Go find it. Maybe even find another rock, I don't know. Achilles, no, come here. Achilles, come here. Achilles, here. Go find it. No. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna call it a night. But anyway, so challenge your dogs. Once they know a task, challenge them. To make sure they understand a task. Now it looks like he's motivated again. If he's going, I'm gonna let him work it out. But yeah, challenge your dogs. Once they figure out the drags, put some extra, twists and turns in your tracks. To just get them used to navigating turns. On the water. Put some scent down. Take them to new bodies of water. Get them where they can do this regardless of the situation. And like I said, 3 times in a row in 3 different areas, your dog's ready for that task. I'm sure hoping he'll get it this time. I mean, there's just no better way for him to learn it than to figure it out on his own. I just really hope he searches. He's just missing that spot right there in front of that tree. Hopefully he'll do it this time. And if he does, I guarantee he'll remember. And then if I take him back here tomorrow, there's a 99% chance that that's where he'll go when I send him. It's just like, dang it, he's coming back. That thing may just be too submerged and, down in that kind of corner there where the wind's just not picking it up. I don't know. Oh, shoot. But what this tells me is we need to go back and reiterate, a couple of lessons here. Make sure he understands it. You don't move forward until the dog understands it. Hey, Achilles, what a good boy, huh? What a good boy. Come here, buddy. You're doing such a good job. I guarantee he's exhausted at this point, too. He was swimming before we started doing this. So he already was getting his exercise. But if he goes, I'm going to let him. I'm not going to send him again, but if he wants to figure it out on his own, I'll let him. Hey, come here, buddy. Come here. What a good dog. So, yeah, so tomorrow I'll get the bucket and we'll revisit it down in the channel, put the scent in front of me, and then send him across. Hey, buddy. Good boy, Achilles. Come here. Come here, bud. But yeah, challenge your dogs. And then if you find a weakness that, in your training, like we did here tonight, work on it. But make it where easier, but along the lines of what you're trying to teach them. Like I'm not going to go back and just teach them a field search, for example, or I'm not going to go throw bumpers in the water to get them to go out to a certain distance. I'm going to teach him to swim through scent when he doesn't find it, to go to the other side and expand his search. So, challenge him and then go back and work on whatever it is that, he needs to practice, needs help with. But make sure, do it along the lines of what he's struggling with. Come on, Achilles. Let's go, bud. And And then once he has it down, make the level of difficulty greater and greater gradually. Come on, bud. And then, then go back and tackle the thing that he failed on. And I probably should have done this on the narrower channel. Truth be told, I probably shouldn't have done it right here. But, I had already had the scent. He's going across without the buckets now. So, I just took advantage of it, having the scent all over the place, and, put the pheasant on the other side. But in hindsight, I probably should have done it down in that narrower channel just to make it easier on him. But it is what it is, so it reveals what I need to work on. So, Achilles, come here, bud. Doing a duck search. The wind is blowing this way and to my right. But it's kind of, it is whipping around a lot of directions, but I planted a dead pheasant. I didn't have a thawed duck out, but I had a pheasant that was freshly killed, so I kind of dabbled it in a few places along the other bank just to get scent, just to make him work for it. He's running the bank, but good boy, Achilles, good boy. Fetch. Good boy. Let's see if he'll swim back. They can run the bank to return with game. They can't do it on a water search. Good boy. Come on, buddy. So they can't do it on the search, but they can do it on the return once they have found the game. Because, they're judged on their water search. So we'll see what he does. There's a trail back there. Maybe he'll take it. There we go. He's just looking for a clear path. I'm just going to trust him to bring it to me. I'm not going to say anything else to him. Just going to see what he does. Achilles, come over here. Good boy. You can get his attention. Good boy, good boy. Drop. Atta boy, what a good dog. Here, buddy, here. Here, that's a good dog. What a good boy. What a good boy, Achilles. Here, no, Achilles. Here, that's such a good dog. Such a good dog. Yes, sir. Good dog. Good dog. Now I'm going to try to do it from the other side. I'm going to toss the pheasant over here and then take him to the other side.